Do you need a great marketing tool to advertise your business or event? Then use Ottumwa Coasters. Get your business or event on drink coasters featured in Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. It's the most fun and effective way to reach the community. Starting at just $199, you get 1,000 coasters delivered to Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. Look for Ottumwa Coasters on Facebook or call or text 573-932-0111. Central Empire Wrestling presents Bridge City Slam 6 live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. Come see Jake the Snake Roberts, Buff Bagwell, former WWE Tag Team Champions Demolition, Real One Enzo Amore, The Powers of Pain, The Boogeyman, Snitsky, Jordan Grace, Cameron Brunet, and the stars of CEW. Tickets start at just $20 and include the Fan Fest from 4 to 7 p.m. Get your tickets through Ticketmaster or at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. It's Bridge City Slam 6, live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. Watch Pekin Panther football live right here this fall on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube with live announcers and an updated scoreboard, plus an area scoreboard to keep you updated on other schools of interest. It's Pekin Panther football live right here on Steve Shuttler Media starting Friday, August 30th. New Life Fellowship in Keswick, Iowa is hosting the Victorious Living Conference Friday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 25th, with guest pastors Luke and Jana Hobbs from Tennessee. You're invited to make plans to join New Life Fellowship in Keswick for this dynamic time of anointed worship, teaching, and ministry. New Life Fellowship is located just south of Keswick on Highway 22. The conference schedule is Friday, August 23rd at 7 p.m., Saturday, August 24th at 6 p.m., and Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. We hope to see you for the Victorious Living Conference.
And here's your host, Steve Shedler.
Hello, good morning. Welcome in. It's a Friday edition of the Morning Wake Up. You know, some dramatic pauses between music and intros and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. Hey, I hope you're off to a good start on this Friday. Our morning wake up brought to us, of course, by Ottumwa Coasters. Let's take a look at their information. Get your business or event on drink coasters featured in Ottumwa at the area restaurants, popular restaurants in Ottumwa, and also is kind of spreading out throughout southeast Iowa. So Ottumwa Coasters, take advantage of that. It's a great way to reach the community and the area here in southeast Iowa. We, of course, thank Oski Dental for sponsoring our studios. And you can schedule your appointment with Dr. Schuster, 641-673-4845. They're accepting new patients, going to file your insurance forms for you, a Delta Dental provider. Find them at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa, the Oski Dental Studios. Here on Steve Shuttler Media, the Morning Wake Up. Our weather brought to us by the Garden Gate at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. Call Cindy at 641-622-3191. Sunshine for today. Going to warm up to 85. West winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, there is a slight, never so slight chance of some showers before 8 p.m. Otherwise clear tonight. A low of 64. Tomorrow, again, a very slight chance of some rain in the afternoon. Otherwise, it will gradually become sunny tomorrow, a high of just 79. Tomorrow night, clear, low of 62, and then sunshine on Sunday with a high of 81. Currently, we do have here in southeast Iowa humidity at 100%. So it is humid. Winds just a little bit. West winds 5 miles per hour. Barometer 29.85, 65 on the dew point. And currently, according to the National Weather Service thermometer here in the Oski Dental Studios, we are at officially 65.5 degrees. We'll call it 66 degrees here in southeast Iowa. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Earlier today, as we do every weekday, 6 a.m., we kick things off on the Facebook side of things with our This or That. It's brought to us by Stacy Flynn at the Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty in Sigourney. Our This or That for today is blinds or drapes. Which do you prefer? You can comment on that. Find that post. Again, that went up at 6 a.m. on Steve Shetler Media Facebook. Blinds or drapes? I really don't have a preference on this. I'll leave this to my wife to figure out. That's what, the wives are supposed to do the decorating, right? Blinds or drapes is our This or That for today. Our question of the day, which will go up at noon today, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. And you can call or text for an appointment at 641-622-3772. How many hours do you need each night to function? It should say how many hours of sleep. or just how many hours at night. I don't know. You can figure it out. How many hours of sleep do you need each night to function? That's what that's supposed to say. I need, I generally, I'm guessing I probably get 6 hours of sleep at night, but then I always take a little bit of a nap, a little morning nap after I get done with things here during the morning hours. I sneak a nap in, so I kind of make up for a little bit of that lack of sleep. So I'm saying 7 to 8 overall in a 24-hour period is what I need. So how many hours of sleep do you need each night to function? That's your question of the day. Let's take a look at our tournaments. Our For the Fun of It tournament, which is brought to us by Son-in-Law Services, Josh Clubb, the handyman. Give him a call, 319-431-1806. We're featuring State Fair food this month on the For the Fun of It tournament. Pork chop or gizmo? What do you think? Pork chop has the lead in this matchup right now. It went up at 6 p.m. last evening, goes through 6 p.m. this evening. Who's moving on to the next round? Pork chop or the gizmo sandwich? You guys can decide. Let's take a look at our brackets. Corn dog moving into the final four. Then on the other side, we've got the pork chop gizmo matchup. Then starting on Sunday evening, we'll have the hot beef sundae against lemonade. And then tater ribbons and Barksdale cookies will be our matchups to decide the final four. So that's our For the Fun of It tournament brought to us by Son-in-Law Services. Our Athlete of the Year tournament, of course, is still going on. The winner of this tournament going to get the big belt. And our current matchup right now has the number 2 seed, Imogen Stratton of English Valley's Volleyball, going against the number 7 seed, Haley Jack of HLVTC Softball. That matchup goes until 5 p.m. with voting. Thumbs up for Imogen or heart for Haley. Get your votes in. Find that. That went up at 5 p.m. last evening. Goes till 5 p.m. this evening. Now, yesterday we had a big upset. We've had some big upsets in the tournament so far. And I don't know if this qualifies for the biggest upset, but Cale Clarahan knocked off the number 1 seed, Evan Vitito. Evan's out of here. Battle of the SK Cobras went to Cale Clarahan. He made the comeback, and he won by just a few votes in the waning minutes of that matchup. So Cale Clarahan moving into the Final Four. Congratulations to Kyle. Now our matchup, as we were talking about, is on the right-hand side now. Imogen Stratton against Haley Jack. And I think last check, Haley Jack had the lead. So could we be in for another big upset? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Haley Jack and Imogen Stratton battling till 5 p.m. this evening. Again, thumbs up for Imogen or heart for Haley. That's your Athlete of the Year tournament, brought to us by Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics and Kelly Stiles State Farm. Again, the winner of this entire tournament is going to get that big belt. It's funny because every time I show that belt or somebody carries that belt or just, holds on to it, they're like, wow, this is heavy. This is legit. So yes, it's a legit championship belt. It's not some cheap plastic, little toy belt that we're going to hand off to somebody. It's the real deal. So the winner of that tournament going to be getting that belt coming up here. I don't know. Well, we'll decide our champion by the end of next Friday. So fun stuff going on there. Coming up later on this morning, we're a few hours away from our Iowa Music Showcase at Barnwired at 119 East Marion, Sigourney. And that guy, Randy Burke, going to be hanging out today. Our rescheduled visit with Randy Burke. He'll be playing us some live music and doing a live interview in front of a live audience. If you want to be part of that live audience, just come to Barnwired and hang out. We're live from 11:30 to noon every Friday. And of course, you can also watch here on Steve Shetler Media if you can't make it there in person at Barnwired. Tomorrow, we'll be hanging out tomorrow morning and every Saturday morning at Brothers Market in Sigourney. Got the sports section, talking sports. We're going to squeeze in a couple more shows before we get hot and heavy into football here in Southeast Iowa. Tomorrow, we're going to be featuring pickleball. There's a pickleball court here in Sigourney. We're going to be talking to Kimmy Joe and Mike Hernandez and Jerry Wooler about pickleball. That'll be for the first half of the show. And then the second half of the show, we're talking with Jenny Hobbs with Keota Volleyball and maybe a player or two from Keota Volleyball. So Andy McGuire is going to be our host tomorrow. So tune in. We'll have a fresh feel to the sports section tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. at Brothers Market. And, of course, on Tuesdays, we go to Smoky Row in Oskaloosa for Tuesday night tune-up. If I can find that, we'll bring that up. Smoky Row in Oskaloosa, again, the place to be. We're going through October. Safe Grafke is our host. You can tune in Tuesdays at 7 p.m. If you want to stop in and check out the show in person, you can do that too. That's Tuesdays at 7, Tuesday night tune-up, talking local and area racing. Let's see here. Let's look at some community calendar events. One thing coming up tonight, if you want to, scratch that itch for some football, English Valley's football having their annual Powerade scrimmage. That's tonight at 7 p.m. on their practice field. It's open to the public. The admission fee for the game is to bring a Powerade or any other sports drink or a pack of it or a bottle. So whatever you want to do. Contribute to the EV football program. That's tonight, that scrimmage for English Valley's football at 7 p.m. Coming up tomorrow, the Eveland Access in Oskaloosa having their, what they call the Rendezvous at the River. It's tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Vendor fair, potluck dinner, and silent auction. Maybe put in your Google Maps for Eveland Access to find that. Pretty cool campground if you want to check that out. That's going on tomorrow. What else we got going on? Of course, we're getting ready for getting back to school. Oskaloosa High School having their freshman orientation coming up next Thursday, August 22nd, from 7:50 a.m. to noon at the Oskaloosa High School. So if you're a freshman, get orientated. Is that the word? Is that a word at all? Orientated? Oriented? I don't know. That's coming up next Thursday for the freshmen going to Oskaloosa High School. Make sure you check that out. Let's go ahead and do some birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Nikki Leathers, the realtor. And you can get a hold of Nikki at 641-295-4142. Check out the listings at hometown-re.com. On the hometown birthday side of things, local and area birthdays, we've got Caitlin Wolf. Now, she is originally an Iowa country singer. She made the move to Nashville here a few years ago now. Caitlin with a birthday today, so happy birthday to you, Caitlin Wolf. We've got Bill Cope with a birthday. I'm sure he's selling some dirt bikes and ATVs and UTVs, all that good. I don't know if he has ATVs and UTVs, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know. He sells motor stuff down around the Hedrick area. Bill Cope with a birthday today. Bob Palmeter, my old radio buddy Bob Palmeter. He has a birthday tomorrow. Now, he runs the Christian station out of Ottumwa. I do not remember what the number on the radio dial is, but happy birthday to Bob. Kelly Reeves with a birthday tomorrow. Got John Musigman with a birthday on Sunday. John is the dad of Iowa country singer Casey Musigman, so happy birthday to John. We've got Iowa country singer Cody Hicks with a birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday to you, Cody. And James Bringman has a birthday on Sunday. Jim Bringman. So happy birthday to all of our hometown birthdays. Over on the celebrity side, for today, we've got actress Julie Newmar turning 91. If that name doesn't ring a bell, she was the original Catwoman on the Batman TV show back in the day. Julie Newmar, 91. Kathy Lee Gifford. Gifford. I can't talk. Kathy Lee Gifford. TV personality with a birthday today. Regis and Kathy Lee, 71. James Cameron, director. Such movies as Terminator, Titanic, all sorts of stuff. Avatar. James Cameron is 70 years old. Actress Angela Bassett, 66. Singer Madonna is turning 66. Actor Steve Carell, one of my favorites of all time from The Office. Michael Scott, 62. Happy birthday to Steve Carell. Emily Robinson of the Dixie Chicks. I refuse to call them just the Chicks. They're the Dixie Chicks. 52. And then actress Rumor Willis, the daughter of Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, turning 36 years old today. Celebrity hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. I think that's all we got. Yeah, hey, we're doing the morning wake up. It's brought to us by Ottumwa Coasters. And on this date, which, again, today is August 16th. It is a Friday. August 16th on this date, it was today in 1875, a locust swarm estimated at 12 trillion. I want to know who went out and counted the locust swarm. They're like 1, 2, 3, 12 trillion. 1875, a locust swarm estimated at 12 trillion passed through Nebraska, eating everything in sight. 1875. By the way, that reminds me. I was thinking, just random thought last night before I went to bed. What happened to all the cicadas that were supposed to show up this summer? Is it any different than any other summer here in southeast Iowa? I mean, it's supposed to be this 100-year boom of cicadas this summer. I haven't noticed anything different. Obviously, maybe in other places in the country, but I don't know. Southeast Iowa seems normal. Let's see here. It was on this date in 1920, Ray Chapman was hit in the head by a pitch in baseball, later died, becoming the only fatality in Major League Baseball. Ray Chapman, 1920. It was on this date in 1954, the very first issue of Sports Illustrated was published. It was on this date, sad day in music. Elvis Presley died on this date in 1977 due to heart failure, Memphis, Tennessee. He was just 42. Elvis Presley passing away on this date in 1977. All right, let's take a break. Let's hear from some of our sponsors, including our headliner which includes Ottumwa coasters. Do you need a great marketing tool to advertise your business or event? Then use Ottumwa coasters. Get your business or event on drink coasters featured in Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. It's the most fun and effective way to reach the community. Starting at just $199, you get 1,000 coasters delivered to Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. Look for Ottumwa coasters on Facebook or call or text 573-932-0111.
2021 Iowa Harvest Red is a dry red wine from Tassel Ridge Winery that has plum and black cherry aromas and notes on the palate, with nice acid and a long, complex finish. It's made from Marquette and Foch grapes. The 2021 Iowa Harvest Red pairs with pizza, pasta dishes, and grilled steaks. The 2021 Iowa Harvest Red is available at the winery and in a few of our nearly 400 retail outlets in Iowa. Tassel Ridge Winery is located in Lighton on Highway 163 between Pella and Oskaloosa and is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from noon to 6. Check our website at tasselridge.com.
Jeremy Empey Web Design, designing since 1999. Graphic design, website maintenance, and more. Web solutions for any size project, serving Oskaloosa and beyond. Jeremy Empey Web Design has web solutions for any size project. He can breathe life into your website, and he'll help you out with fast support. Web hosting, web development, and website maintenance. Whatever you need, Jeremy Empey Web Design can help you out. Call Jeremy at 641-295-4844 or get more information at jeremyempey.com.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because when you feel totally protected, your family's free to enjoy their dreams.
Try it again. You're getting the hang of this. Good job.
American Family Insurance.
Contact Christy Tarr in Oskaloosa at 641-673-8965.
Thank you for calling the City Cinema Mega Multiplex Duquad Triomni Theaters with the amazing self-cleaning floors. Just be sure not to wear anything cheese-colored. Now playing, Matt Damon plans to make moonshine but needs one more ingredient in still water. A guy wants to pass out for a second time in Don't Breathe 2, and a group of timid plumbers are called in to unclog a drain in The Sewer Shy Squad. So when you're ready to look forward to a great evening, you're probably just about ready to leave your nearest City Cinema Mega Multiplex Duquad Triomni Theaters. Thank you for calling.
Oh boy, something in theaters for this weekend. Goofy humor. Hey, we do thank all of our sponsors for making our broadcast possible each and every morning here on Steve Shetler Media. The Morning Wake Up brought to us by Ottumwa Coasters. We also thank Tassel Ridge Winery, Jeremy Empey Web Design, and Christy Tarr American Family Insurance. I think we're going to be adding more and more sponsors, commercials, advertising. Got to do what I got to do. So, more and more folks going to be hanging out here on the Morning Wake Up here on Steve Shetler Media. But I forgot to tell you before we went to break, today is on the National Day calendar. Today is National Rum Day, if you like rum on this Friday. It's National Bratwurst Day. I like some good old bratwurst. So we got National Roller Coaster Day, and it's National Tell a Joke Day. So two guys walk into a bar. I'm horrible at telling jokes. I ruin jokes all the time. Shall we do this? Let's do this. Let's do some things you need to know. Whoa! In some things you need to know, you may have seen this. Matthew Perry from Friends, of course, he died, about a year ago. Matthew Perry's personal assistant, 2 doctors, and 2 others have been indicted and charged with providing the drug ketamine or ketamine, is it ketamine? Ketamine? That caused Matthew Perry's death. So, interesting developments there. Let's go to ESPN. Former NFL quarterback RG3, Robert Griffin III, has reportedly been fired by ESPN. Now, back in 2022, Griffin was classified as ESPN's next big star by Sports Illustrated 1 year after he had been hired by the network. Now, he's out, fired by the network. Politics, sources say that RFK Jr. was wanting to meet with Kamala Harris last week to talk about a possible cabinet position. I believe he's been denied, so not too happy about that. Let's see here. The president of Columbia University has resigned. Let's see here. That was over her handling of the Israel-Hamas campus protests earlier this summer. So that campus president, Columbia University, out. Sad news, Wally Amos, the founder of the famous Amos Cookies, has died at the age of 88. Rest in peace. The Democratic National Convention kicking off on Monday in Chicago. President Biden, Hillary Clinton will be speaking on Monday night. President Obama on Tuesday. Former President Clinton on Wednesday night, along with Tim Walz and Kamala Harris coming up next week. So also look for President Jimmy Carter's grandson, Jason, to be speaking at the Democratic National Convention. How about the drama in the Rob Schneider household? Rob is asking his daughter, country singer Elle King, to forgive him for his shortcomings, including being absent while she was growing up, and also sending her off to quote-unquote fat camp. She hasn't evidently spoken to him in years. So, yeah, there's some forgiveness there that is needed. Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars releasing a new duet together called Die With a Smile. Might want to check that out. Former NASCAR champion Kurt Busch, glug, 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 arrested for DWI, reckless driving, and speeding in North Carolina on Tuesday night. Melbourne, Australia. They have become the second city to officially ban electric scooters. What do you think of that? Electric scooters. You know, we were at the State Fair last weekend, and you know the amount of electric scooters at the State Fair, a little bit ridiculous. You can kind of see who should be on one and who shouldn't. Rock and roller Greg Kihn of the Greg Kihn Band, their big hit Jeopardy. I love you, Jeopardy, baby. He has died at the age of 75. Rest in peace. Those are your things for things you need to know here on Steve Shetler Media. Should we do this? Today's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. La 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 la. Question. Today's impossible question. Women do this handy task better than most men and are more accurate too. What are we talking about? I don't know. Women do this handy task better than most men and are more accurate too. Think about that. Let's get to some good mornings. Bubby was first on the draw today. Bubby just waits for me to go live in the mornings. So good morning to you, Bubby. Sandy, Sherry, Dan, my Aunt Deb, Jason, Cindy, Kay, Jackie, Jan, everybody else who's out there watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate that. You know, Jackie always shares the video, and I very much appreciate that. That's really the only way that we're going to grow this thing. So thank you, Jackie, for sharing. Today's impossible question. Again, women do this handy task better than most men and are more accurate too. What the heck am I talking about? It's hitting a nail on the head. I don't know where they get this information, but evidently women use a hammer better. So They're more accurate with it as well. All right, let's get weird. Shall we get weird?
That is weird.
In some weird news today, a woman says the Ontario government in California, Canada, is forcing her to pay more than $15,000 to unpaid workers at a funeral home that she insists she never owned. The woman says that Adam McDowell, her former husband and owner of the funeral home, added her name as a director without her knowledge or consent. The funeral home is no longer operating, and she's done everything to show the Ministry of Labor that she shouldn't be liable. However, they're still trying to make this woman pay $15,000 to unpaid workers, and evidently it's not her thing, so we'll see how that turns out. In some other weird news, in our weird news files, if I can get my fingers to working here, let's go to New Zealand. A charity working with homeless people in Auckland, New Zealand, unknowingly distributed candy filled with potentially lethal doses of methamphetamine in its food parcels after the sweets were donated by a member of the public, laced with meth. Auckland City Mission on Wednesday said that the staff had started to contact up to 400 people to track down parcels that could contain the sweets, which were solid blocks of methamphetamine enclosed in candy wrappers. That'd be a little wake me up, wouldn't it? You think you're eating some hard candy and you get some meth instead. Let's go from meth in New Zealand to unexpected births in Australia, not too far away. Heading to the toilet, feeling a little bit off. The last thing that this young lady, Courtney Sugar, expected was to deliver a baby she never even thought was possible to conceive. This is quite the story. The unexpected Australian mother describes the birth as one big push that was all so quick and not painful. She freaked out. She called out to her partner in the next room, who scooped up the newborn from the toilet. Paramedics came and cut the cord. The family, now recovering at the hospital. Her partner explained that, quote, "It wasn't until I got to the hospital, really, when the blood pressure started to come back down and the heart rate started coming back down, that I actually started processing that I was actually a dad now." Now, she, the woman who had the baby, hadn't noticed a change in her belly and didn't experience any food aversions or cravings. She'd even taken a pregnancy test about 3 or 4 months into gestation, which returned a negative result. So she had no idea that she was pregnant, and then went to the bathroom and plop, out comes a baby. A baby Eli is a welcome addition to the family, who thought parenthood was actually out of the question due to some health conditions. So it ends up being a good story, but quite unexpected, that the birth in Australia. And then how about this? The California Highway Patrol said 6 lanes of California highway were closed after a truck spilled hundreds of boxes of raisins. It was the California raisins, and they were getting squished. The truck apparently crashed into the center divider just after 5:30 p.m. The trailer opened, sending hundreds of boxes of raisins into the roadway. The Highway Patrol closed 6 lanes of the highway with a cleanup operation underway. Shall we go to the files of law and disorder? I think we should. We'll stay here in Iowa for the files of law and disorder. An eastern Iowa man is accused of shooting his father after an argument about his stinky feet. Yeah, you heard me right. A guy shot his dad over an argument about stinky, smelly feet. David Carpenter was arrested and charged with attempted murder in Burlington on Sunday. David called police, told them he had shot his father in the face. KCCI reporting that police talked to the father in the hospital, who had been shot in the face. And he told officers that, ow, my face hurts, and that the argument had started over David's stinky feet. David also faces a child endangerment charge since 2 kids were in the home at the time of the shootings. Stupid people in Iowa. Shooting someone in the face because you're arguing over their feet smelling. That's what this world has come to. Should we do some good news? Let's do this.
Something that makes you smile.
Something to make you smile, brought to us by our friends at Lifetime Dental Solutions. You can join them at their new location. They are moved and ready to serve your dental needs. Find them on their new location, 115 South Jefferson, Sigourney, 641-622-2669. Dr. Stacy Freeze with something to make you smile. A good thing that'll make a lot of people smile is that prices going to be slashed on a bunch of Medicare drugs. Seniors will save $1.5 billion in out-of-pocket costs for the 10 costliest prescription drugs under Medicare as a result of the Biden administration's negotiations with drug companies, according to a Thursday announcement. Beginning in 2026, so we're still going to have to wait like a year and a half, the costs of the 10 popular medications will be reduced by between 38 and 79% from 2023 list prices. Though, quote, those figures overstate the actual savings that will be achieved as drug makers already negotiate behind-the-scenes discounts with private companies that run Medicare drug plans. So big savings in the work for prescription medications. They list the top 10. I can't pronounce half of them, but good news there. We'll post that as our good news story of the day coming up at 7:45 on Facebook. Make sure you check that out. Let's end this with some duh. In some duh today. Back to Australia. Lots of stupid stuff happening in Australia. Australian authorities have released footage of an alleged arsonist accidentally setting himself on fire. That's what you get. You play with fire, you're going to get burned. Let's see here. There's a break-in at a barber shop in Australia. 2 people smashed the glass front door of the Gold Blade Barber Shop. Television footage shows an alleged arsonist dousing the shop with an accelerant and lighting it, in turn setting himself on fire in the process. He then leaves the shop, does the old stop, drop, and roll, and is assisted by the other person to try to extinguish the flames. The 2 people then leave the scene on push bikes. Police said there were people in a gym upstairs from the barber shop at the time of the incident, and police believe the attack was targeted and are investigating several lines of inquiry. So again, the arsonists in Australia accidentally setting themselves on fire. Whoops, they get the duh. Let's take a look at our forecast one last time. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate. Sunshine today and 85 degrees. Again, we do thank Oski Dental. Of course, they sponsor the Oski Dental Studios. Give them a call at 641-673-4845. We thank Ottumwa Coasters for being our headline sponsor. Get your business on a coaster, a drink coaster, out in all the popular Ottumwa restaurants and also expanding throughout Southeast Iowa. It's just $199 for 1,000 coasters. Heck of a deal. Make sure you take advantage of that. Otherwise, coming up today, we've got In Remembrance Of on the way at 8 a.m., every weekday at 8 a.m. Then we go to Brothers Market. We've got the Iowa Music Showcase with Iowa's Randy Burke live at Barnwired, 11:30 to noon. Later on today, we've got Successful Farming at 5:30. Tomorrow morning, we'll be at Brothers Market for the sports section. So lots of stuff coming up here today and this weekend on Steve Shuttler Media. Otherwise, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday at 7 a.m.